Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to share the most important chapters of FR for May 26 and I've made a category wise bifurcation as well. But mind this that even if it is a C category chapter, you have to still read and learn everything in FR because you get 5 days to prepare for FR and you have ample time to learn and revise each and every chapter. So even if it is a C category chapter, you have to read everything. I am going to share the way you have to approach the FR subject because it is a very lengthy subject and you might leave some chapters which are A or B category. So to avoid that, I have made the ABC category wise bifurcation. So let's start with the video without wasting much time. So as you can see, these are the most important chapters and the category as well, A and ABC category. The first important chapter, that is the business combination, because in the previous two attempts the first 14 marker question was from consolidation. There are high chances that the first question of 14 marks in May 26 will be of business combination or of joint arrangement. These two chapters become very important, and I've also jotted down the important concept or the questions that you have to do in each and every chapter. So in business combination, you have to do the full-fledged question, plus the focus should be on demerger question, because the basic question, even if the paper is on the easier side, there is a very less chance that the basic question will be asked. But another concept like common control questions or demerger questions, these questions have a high chance of being tested in your exam. So focus on them. And then the second chapter, the most important chapter, and there is definitely one question from this chapter in question number 2. So do the financial instruments and focus on the important concepts. Concepts like compound financial instrument, early redemptions, and all the hedge accounting. All these concepts are important and focus on them, and your grip should be very strong. Yes, the question will be on an easier side from financial instruments, but still you have to solve. And most of the questions from FR are from the textbook only or from the module only. So you have to practice the module questions very diligently and very completely. And in the last 1.5 days, focus on the LDR questions only, because you will not be able to solve the entire thing, and most of the questions are from the LDR only. So focus on that. Now coming to the third chapter, which is the most important, I think, because it is never tested and still there are very good questions in RTP from Jan 26 as well. So in joint arrangement, focus on the RTP question. There are some questions from the RTP which are very tricky and from the joint arrangement. So do those questions from Jan 26. I have seen that. So I am telling you. Now coming to the very important chapter, that is leases. It has not been tested in the past few attempts, and there are high chances that this question will be tested instead of revenue. Because question number 5, first question is definitely of revenue. Instead of that, you will see leases. Do this chapter very, very diligently and very properly. Important questions, the concept, the grip on the concept should also be good. Now coming to the 5th chapter, analysis of same. This is a very ignored chapter. Even I did not do it in my attempt of Jan 26 because it is a very lengthy chapter of very lengthy questions as well. But this question might land up in your 14 marker as well, because the questions are only 5 or 7 in this chapter and they are all LDR questions. So I will request you to go through this chapter. I know that you have skipped this chapter because rest all chapters are very big and it becomes a very tiring thing to do this at the very last. So do it just like business combination or joint arrangement or consolidation. Like do it in the very first of starting your FR preparation, not at the very last, like not at the 7th day or 8th day or whatever day you are finishing your first or second or third revision. But maybe now you are on your third revision or second revision and you have only 3 or 4 days to do this. So do not attempt this chapter at the very last of your 4th day. Do it on the first or the second day. Now coming to the important chapter, I do not have to tell you anything about this, the revenue chapter. The earnings per share and the share based payment becomes very important, because in my exam the important question was from, where is that, employee benefits. So earning per share and share based payments become very important. Do this. Borrowing cost, very good concept. It will be tested in other chapters as well. So you have to have a good grip in this as well. Now provision and contingency, it is a very theory based chapter. So you do not have to read the theory. Just go from the question approach. Only to the LDR question. Even if you do not ratify the theory, it is fine. Ratify the answer. It is as simple as that. Do only the questions from this chapter. Do not read the theory. It is lengthy and you will not remember it. Do the questions and how the answers are framed of that particular question. Do that. It will be enough for provision and contingency. Like I have given in the bracket as well, you have to do only the LDR question. There are 3 or 4 very big and very good conceptual questions. Do that and move on. Do not do entire agriculture chapter. It is a very small chapter and chances of those easy questions being tested is very less. So do only the LDR questions and only the bigger ones. They are only 3 or 4. And lastly, I have written consolidation. very less chance of it being tested, but still ICI is ICI, whatever they want to, and they will trick you. They have tricked every faculty in Jan 26. So even if you are watching this A category, B category, it is not the important chapters, it is the way to study. So when you start preparing, do business combination, do joint arrangement. These are very important chapters and the must ones. You cannot skip it. Right now, coming to category B chapters, inventory, statement of cash flow, interim finance. Yeah, so in interim financial reporting, also go by question way only. Do not read the theory. Yes, theory is important, but still, even if you do the question, you will get the theory. So do not have to ratify it or understand it. Now coming to impairment of asset, less chance of it being tested because in Jan 26 it was tested with non-current head for sale. So a very less chance that you will get a very full-fledged question from this. Like non-current head for sale question, you will get it in that particular question only, like not a different question. Events after reporting, this is also a theory chapter. So in theory chapter, just go with question approach. Just read the question, read the answer, and move on. Do not read the theory, do not understand the concept, it is fine. You will not find any difficulty to solve the question if you do not read the concept. Intangibles, investment property, this chapter might come because it has not been tested and it is ignored by everyone. Even I ignored it, but just read that concept. But there is only one concept in that. Read that and you will get an 8-marker question from that. Intangibles and investment property, these are very important because in Jan 26 I was tested with PPE. So in the same way, PPE I have written it in the C category, but if you do not do PPE, you will not be able to do the investment property as well as the intangible. So in this way, PPE is not a C category chapter. I have written it in C category because the chances of full-fledged question from this chapter, it becomes less because in Jan 26 it was tested. But there are many concepts which are interlinked to intangibles, investment property, agriculture. So you have to do PPE in a very good manner. Now coming to C category chapters, like these chapters, even in the last 1.5 days, like there are 5 days, you have to revise entire thing for the first 4 days, and in the last 1 day you have to again revise. So when you are again revising in the 1.5 days, like last day and the 0.5 of that particular exam day, you have to do majorly the important chapters from A category and B category. You can skip the C category in the 1.5 days. So C category chapters are not the chapters that you have to skip. C categories are those chapters that in 1.5 days that you are doing your preparation, you have to, even if you miss this chapter, it will be fine because there are very less chances of it being tested again. Now income tax, in days 1 it is tested, but there is an amendment. So do that amendment very well because ICI might ask from that amendment only. Now income tax, there is very less chance that it will be tested in a full-fledged question because it is tested, but there are many concepts which are interlinked in consolidation, business combination. You still have to do this, but just understand the concept. Even if you do not practice the question, it will be fine. Now coming to PPE, same I have told you before. Employee benefit, same, it was tested, less chance of it being tested. Even if you are not able to do in the 1.5 days, it will be fine because there are no interlinking in other chapters. Government grants, there is some interlinking, but no full-fledged question that might be asked. Related party question, same question approach because very theory chapter and you cannot do entire thing. Entire concept you cannot read and remember at the last day. So just do the questions and move on. Same with changes in accounting policy, question approach, do the questions, do the LDR questions and move on. Even if you are not able to understand the concept, just do the questions and get away with it. Non-current held for sale and fair value measurement, very last chance because very less chance because these chapters are very easy and they have been tested in Jan 26. So I don't think so ICI will test again. And then there is 4-marker theory question. It will be asked, theory will be asked, that is for sure. These are the theory chapters and the questions are getting framed new. So even if you read the LDR questions, you will not be able to solve in the question that you will not be able to solve in the exam. So what you have to do in this theory paper, that you have to read the actual module theory, like the concept. Read the concept, and even if you are not able to do the questions, it will be fine. Just read the concept, read the questions, how they are framed, how the answer is framed. Do not rectify the answer. In audit you do that, in AFM you do that, but in FR you cannot do that. So just read the concept and move on. So this is the ABC category wise bifurcation of the entire chapters. But one thing I want to tell you, that you have 5 days in FR. So you cannot skip anything and go in the exam. So what you have to do is how to do the last 5 days, that you have to bifurcate these 5 days in 4 days and 1.5 days. The day of your exam, the half day will also be considered here. In 4 days, you have to ensure that you do the entire thing, entire A, B and C wise category chapters. Then in the last day, last 1 day and half day, you have to do the A and B category chapters only. You will not be able to do the entire thing. not even A and B entirely. But why I am telling you this? Because when you are doing the revision at the very last, the A and B category you have read 3 or 4 days back. Like on your exam day, you have read the A and B category chapter at least 2 days back, and then you are going to give your exam. And when that particular exam, you will get confused because these two category chapters you have read 3 or 4 days back, and your mind is not very sharp enough to remember those chapters which you have read 3 or 4 days back. You will remember the C category chapters very well, but you will not remember the important chapters. That is why I am telling you, bifurcate the 5 days in 4 and 1.5 days. Do the ABC category chapters. What I mean by ABC, you do not have to do the business combination, joint arrangement. These chapters you do not have to do entirely. Just do 1 or 2 important questions and move on. Like 1 or 2 full-fledged questions and move on. In financial instrument, just keep it at the 0.5 day. Do not do in the last 1 day. Joint arrangement, same, 1 or 2 questions and move on. Leases, you have to do entire thing because there are many different concepts. Do the questions only. Do not waste time on reading concepts of any chapter in the 1.5 days. Do the important LDR questions. You have to just scribble down and move on. That is the strategy that I followed when I was giving my Jan 26. I received 70 marks in FR, and this was the strategy that I divided my 5 days in 4 days and 1.5 days. I knew that my mind will not be able to remember the chapter that I have studied 4 days back. So just to recall it, just to ensure that I am very sure that I have a firm grip in the A and B category chapters, I revisited them in the 1.5 days. So these chapters, earning per share, borrowing cost, these are very easy chapters. Just do the LDR questions, move on. In the same way, impairment, event offer. So the theory chapters, you have to do it in the 0.5 days. Just read the question, move on. Because when you have studied the theory 4 days back, you will not remember it at all. If you have studied the theory on the day of your exam, you will definitely remember some part of it and you will be able to do it. And do not think that theory is not tested. In Jan 26, the paper became tough because it was a theory based questions. The questions were theory based. So do not think that ICA will not trick you, test you, make your life miserable. They will make you. It is you have to prepare it so well that you are able to give your 100%. I will share you this Word file. In the descriptive section, you will find the link of this Word file. And this was the strategy that I have shared when I completed my exam, and I realized that there are many things that students miss, and that is the reason I shared what to do, how to prepare for the 3 months. And these are the additional important points that I felt while giving my exam. If I would have done it, then might be my paper would be very good, but still I received 70 marks. So at the very end, I think my preparation was very well. So you have to not skip theory. I did not skip theory, but the question was new, so I was not able to write entirely, but I still received 1 mark. If you want to know my FR RTI analysis, I have made an entire video. You can watch that video in a playlist called as CA Final Exam, and also the video will be in the descriptive section as well. And then secondly, don't only focus on big chapters. Small chapters are very important. Many students make this mistake that they do business combination, financial instrument, lease, revenue chapters very thoroughly, but the PP chapter, intangible, impairment of assets, the Ind AS 1, Ind AS 101, these chapters are very important and they skip it, and that is why they fail in FR or do not get exemption in FR. So this was the pro tip. I took 6 days, 5 days for the first and the 1 day for second. If you have 5 days, just bifurcate in 4 and 1.5 days. Then do not go by ABC. I have told you, you have to read everything, learn everything, because you have 5 days, and then this is the learning. So if you want to watch this video, this is also in the playlist called as CA Final Exams, and the link is also in the description, so you can watch this video as well. So this was the entire ABC analysis. It was actually not an ABC analysis that you have to skip any chapter. It was a way to study in the 5 days of your preparation, and even in your last revision that you are going to do now. And I wish that you have now understood how to approach FR, because it is a very big subject with 40 around chapters, and in the last 5 days you will not be able to do the entire thing if you do not have a good strategy. So this was the strategy. Follow it and you will definitely realize that your FR paper went well just because of following this strategy. Even I followed this strategy, and that is why I received 70 marks in FR. So that's it from this video. I will come up with the AFM, audit, and every other subjects ABC category wise bifurcation. So to watch those videos, subscribe to my channel. You will be notified it. If you gained some knowledge from this video, how to prepare it, then do like this video as well and share it with your friends. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care, study well, and bye.